masjid in Islam has not a haq, one right. The masjid has huquq upon you, has rights on us. There are things that you can do and things you shouldn't do in the masjid. And the Muslim has to come to know what are those things. And there are many do's and don'ts in the masjid. They call the masjid the house of Allah. وَمَنْ يَعْمُلُ مَسَاجِدَ اللَّهِ. The masajid are the houses of Allah. It's not anyone's house. So the first one who comes here, he has the most right to get in the line. It's not even permissible for me to put my hat somewhere here to say this is my space. Or someone, he built this masjid. Someone built this masjid. They were the ones who started to build this masjid. And I just came here today, first time. No one can say to me, no one can say, Abu, you can't pray here, you can't pray. This is Allah's house. And it has many rights, many things. The Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, for an example, he told the people, if you see a person who loses something in the masjid and he gets up and he says, hey, I lost my thing. You see my thing, I lost it. Prophet Muhammad told us to make dua. La raddah Allah alayk. May Allah not give it back to you. Because you shouldn't be doing that. So there are many things that you should do. You know the hudud in Islam. The hudud. Our religion has certain things. If you make a mistake, things will happen. The Prophet said, La tuqimul hudud fil masajid. Don't do the hudud in the masjid. It's not the place for that. During their time, they used to carry arrows. They used to carry swords. Rasulullah told his companions, anyone who comes to the masjid, if you have the arrow, he said either put that arrow in the house of the arrow, or if it's open, he said don't hold it in the middle, don't hold it at the end. He said hold the tip of the arrow. And it's clear why he said hold the tip of the arrow. Maybe he'll trip over, and if he's holding it in the middle, it'll stab him. Maybe someone will run and it'll stab him. So there are many things to do and not to do in the masjid. Many things. He was about to pray, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he already said, Allahu Akbar, and he saw in front of him in the Qibla, someone spit on the wall. And it wasn't just the regular spit. It was that was on the wall. He saw it, he took his shirt, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he wiped it off. And he told the people, if any of you spit, don't spit towards the Qibla. Spit down towards the floor and wipe it off with your foot. So there are many things we have to do and many things you can't do. I just want to mention one of these things. And we'll never come to know about them if we don't know and we don't learn about the etiquettes of the masjid. He said, sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, in an authentic hadith, إِذَا دَخَلَ أَحَدُكُمُ الْمَسْجِدِ فَلَا يَجْلِسْ حَتَّى يُصَلِّيَ رَكْعَتَيْنِ. He said, if any Muslim, anyone, if you enter into a masjid, do not sit down until you pray 2 rakat. So from the things that you should not do when you come to the masjid, you should not sit down until you pray 2 rakat. If we're going to have a meeting for the administration, a meeting to solve a problem, some kind of meeting about the school, we're going to have a meeting. And we decide to have the meeting in the masjid. And it's not time for salah. Even if you already prayed, when you come into the masjid, you should have wudu, because you should not sit down in the masjid until you pray 2 rakat. So everyone knows that the prayers in Islam are 5 that are wajib. Fajr, Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib, Isha. There are other prayers that are wajib in Islam. Wajib, like Salatul Jummah is wajib. Like Salatul Eid, those 2 salats, wajib. Another salat that's wajib is the 2 rakat that you have to pray before you sit down. The Prophet ﷺ was given the khutbah of al-Jummah. He was given the khutbah. And while giving the khutbah, a man came in and Rasulullah saw, but he wasn't really paying attention. And the man sat down without praying 2 rakats. Prophet Muhammad looked over and he said to that man, Asallayta rak'atain ya Sulaik? He said, did you pray 2 rakat ya Sulaik? Rasulullah wasn't sure, did he or didn't, because he was talking to the people. He stopped the khutbah. He said, hey, Sulaik, did you pray 2 rakat to greet the masjid? Sulaik said, no, Ya Rasulullah. Prophet Muhammad told him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Qum, usalli, wa tajawwiz fihima. Get up and pray them and make them quick. Because I'm giving the khutbah, don't read long. Just do it very quickly. So if you come to the masjid on Friday and the imam is giving the khutbah, you should pray those 2 rakats. And the fact that the Prophet took time out, he stopped the khutbah to tell that man, make salah, shows it's important. Because everybody took off from work to come to the masjid to listen to the khutbah, and he stopped in front of everybody. And he wasn't putting that man down. Now this hadith of Sulaik, ikhwani, this hadith of Sulaik, listen to this. Sulaik wasn't embarrassed that he didn't pray 2 rakats, and then he just sat there and stayed there. He wasn't like that. As soon as he realized that he made a mistake and he didn't know, the Prophet told him, get up and pray. So if you came in this masjid and you sat down without praying 2 rakats, maybe you didn't know. You're not responsible if you don't know. But now you know. The Prophet ﷺ told the Muslim, if you go into a masjid, do not sit down until you pray 2 rakats. That's from the haqq of the masjid. Whether it's this masjid, whether it's the masjid over there in London, whether it's the masjid in Mogadishu, whether it's the masjid in Peking, China, in New York, in Airport, in Dadyal, wherever the masjid is, you have to pray 2 rakat. The only masjid you don't pray 2 rakat in is in Mecca. In Mecca. In Mecca. Whenever you enter into the masjid in Mecca, it is not the sunnah to pray 2 rakat. The sunnah is to make tawaf. To make tawaf. But let's say you don't get there in time. You get there only 2-3 minutes before the salah. Now it's better to try to go and try to make tawaf as many as you can. But if you know you're not going to make it and you want to get a good spot and you go upstairs or somewhere, it's permissible to pray those 2 rakat. But in Mecca, he didn't pray 2 rakats. In Mecca, he made 7 tawafs, and then after 7 tawafs, he went over and he made 2 rakat. Every other masjid, no matter how big, how small, you should do this. You should make those 2 rakat.